The hilarious musical, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Theatre Royal, Drury Lane.
This lovely, exhilarating show.
The Times.
A success? I should say so.
Sunday Times.
As innocent and wholesome as apple pie.
Guardian.
A bright, brash American musical.
The Sun.
You must see it.
This is Thames from London. In 30 minutes' time, Robin Houston with our local bulletin. But now it's news time at ITN with Sandy Gall and Selena Scott.
Is your hair suffering from neglect? Elsev Conditioners by L'Oreal put the beauty back in your hair. Choose the one that's right for you. Elsev Balsam to enrich dry hair. Elsev Blow Dry to protect overheated hair. Elsev Oil Free to tone up greasy hair. Elsev your hair to beauty. Elsev Conditioners by L'Oreal, because you're worth it.
We Japanese learned a thing or two from studying European car. We're most impressed with a Volkswagen Polo. Very well built, very reliable. We're also impressed that way Volkswagen make Jetta not only tough old boot, but give it big old boot too. Yes, we Japanese learn to become very choosy about cars we build, but even choosier about cars we buy. Volkswagen Golf still #1 imported car in Japan.
The totally tropical taste.
Different.
Filled with a totally tropical taste. Filled with a totally tropical taste.
Refreshing.
Filled with a totally tropical taste.
Pineapple and grapefruit.
Filled.
A proposal which would virtually abolish the system of honours in Britain has been approved by the Labour Party's National Executive. It's likely to become party policy at Labour's conference in the autumn. The scheme would mean that there'd be no more peers, barons or knights. Instead, there'd simply be one award for conspicuous service to the community and another for gallantry.
A former police chief in Brixton has accepted that most of the crime in the London borough of Lambeth, of which Brixton is part, is committed by white people. At the Scarman inquiry, Commander Leonard Adams, who left Brixton last October, was agreeing with a question put by Mr. Rudy Narayan, who's representing the Brixton Legal Defence Group. Mr. Narayan said that while 42% of the local community was black, only 27% of the crime was committed by blacks.
That's the news tonight. Good night.
In just a moment, the Thames Late News with Robin Houston, followed by coverage of tonight's Royal Charity Film Premiere.
Standing in a bus queue,
sitting in the traffic,
letting other people plan the way you go. It's time you broke away. Believe in freedom, believe in Honda. Going when you like, from door to door, your Honda bike and you. Believe in freedom, believe in Honda. Going where you like, your Honda bike and you.
For school leavers starting work and new students, there's a bank that offers a special package with benefits like free banking and the unique half-price student railcard voucher or £5 book token. Students can get a cheque guarantee card. And everybody gets a cash point card for quick cash withdrawal. Lloyds Bank, practical help for new students and school leavers starting work at the sign of the Black Horse.
For every great people, history has a purpose. The people of Romford could have invented television if they'd chosen to.
Forget it, love. There's nothing on for 53 years.
Romford men considered splitting the atom first.
Go on.
So small already, it's hardly worth the bother.
They had thought of breaking the 4-minute mile.
No need, John, be a bus along in a minute.
No, Romford was saving itself for a greater glory. John Ball Bitter from the Romford Brewery Company. Romford's destiny fulfilled. In pints.
From the edge of time, from the depths of the earth, Timex takes quartz to make a watch for a new age. The new Timex Quartz, a watch so accurate you may not have to set it again this year. Thin, sleek, and more beautiful than any watch you could ever imagine. The new Timex, the new Timex Quartz.
I thought that this, in fact, just here, this could be the living room.
Fresh.
What a marvellous idea.
And it would face that way.
Clean.
You know, and
Tangy.
just behind.
New.
Yes.
Heinz yogurt dressing.
What I thought of.
Loved by those
If you don't mind.
who are a little more daring.
We've got to get planning permission.
Welcome to Leicester Square and to the Odeon Cinema for the world premiere of the 12th James Bond movie, For Your Eyes Only. Well, believe it or not, it's nearly 2 decades since the first 007 movie exploded onto our screens and introduced us to the now legendary James Bond. Well, tonight's royal premiere is in aid of 2 charities, the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children and the Royal Association for Disability and Rehabilitation. As you probably already know, the occasion is being honoured by the presence of His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Her Royal Highness, the Princess Margaret, and the Lady Diana Spencer. But before the royal party arrive, we have an opportunity to meet the filmmakers and to talk to some of the stars, and in fact to see some of the excitement from the movie itself.
Well, if you thought that M controlled 007, you'd be wrong. Certainly on celluloid, the man who's in much greater control is the producer Albert R. Broccoli. That's a name to conjure with. You're familiarly known as Cubby.
Yes.
How did you get that name?
Oh, well, that story goes back a few years, and it's a bit long. But anyway, quickly, Harry Hirschfield, who was a cartoonist, had a character called A.B. Kabibble. When I was going to school, they called me A.B. Kabibble, and then later on, they cut it down to Kabibble and then down to Cubby. It's a very boring story, but that's the way it was.
I've always wanted to ask you, though, and broccoli, is that anything to do with a vegetable?
Yes, that's my family, my uncle and aunt brought the vegetable to this country. Their name was DeSico. They brought it to America years ago, and my people raised the seed many years ago. It goes back to 1300.
It's a good old name, then.
Yes.
Cubby, I've seen pictures of you surrounded by all these beautiful girls. This is really what your life is all about, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's beautiful girls is part of my business. I mean, I look for good-looking girls, beautiful girls, and of course girls we hope that have talent, and that's what makes Bond. Beautiful girls, action, and a good story.
But I understand that you actually also roll up your own sleeves as well when the film's...
What's the sausages?
On ITV tomorrow night at 8, a call from the wife.
Yes, of course I know what time it is. I happen to be having a drink with my friends. I'll be home when I'm ready.
A night out on the tiles causes more than a few problems. Young at Heart on ITV tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Life at Broadmoor is described by former patients and staff. That's in our documentary report in just a moment.
Save money on your heating bills. Ring 961-2000.
Salad dressing?
I thought you believed in keeping in shape.
I do. And Cross and Blackwell's waistline dressing is what gave me a real taste for it.
Oh, yeah?
Waistline low-calorie dressing gives my salads extra zing.
Really?
And my calorie-controlled diet extra interest. As I see.
Nothing much wrong with that.
Nothing much wrong with this, either.
You and Cross and Blackwell make tastier meals.
Have you tried new Nescafe yet? If you haven't, you should. There's no better tasting coffee.
The hilarious musical, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Theatre Royal, Drury Lane.
This lovely, exhilarating show.
The Times.
A success, I should say so.
Sunday Times.
As innocent and wholesome as apple pie.
Guardian.
A bright, brash American musical.
The Sun.
You must see it.
A reminder that our main news of the evening is tonight at 10 minutes past 10. Now here's our documentary.
This is the second of 3 programmes specially made to coincide with the International Year of Disabled People.
Come and talk to the Midland. Come and talk to the listening bank. Talk about a savings plan, giving something to your mum, paying for your holiday, taking off to see the sun. Then you need that special one. People have problems over the years. The Midland Bank has very good ears, and it hears. Come and talk to the Midland. Come and talk to the listening bank.
I had to see it once more. Things had changed. It was all new. I went over to the grill. It was combined with the oven. Something was cooking. Fishy. I looked at the hob. It had spark. I looked around the kitchen cabinetry. They all matched. It all fitted into place. This lady had taste. But where was she? And where did it all come from? It all pointed in one direction. And then it hit me. So I got to the gas showroom. I saw the whole range. They were beautiful, but there was something I hadn't bargained for. 50 pounds off selected oven grills and other great bargains too. Then I understood why she chose gas.
When you find a way to make good, fresh yogurt for around half the price of yogurt in the shops, you can afford to put some good, fresh things into it. Salt and Yogurt Maker makes half-price yogurt.
I've been finding out about tin cat foods. There are over 50 different varieties in the shops. But the more I found out, the more I thought one brand stood out as good value for money. Kitty Cat is what experts call a perfectly balanced diet for cats, offering a sensible range of meat and fish dinners. But Kitty Cat regularly sells for less than other top-quality cat foods. So if you've got a cat to feed, take it from me. Kitty Cat makes sense for your cat and your pocket.
You may try, but it reaches right to the sky. You can't do it.
If you think McCain pizzas are topped so high you can't eat one without getting some on your nose, wait till you see what else you get. A free £1 note. Just send 3 pack tops from any McCain pizzas to McCain Free Post Catering. Get your nose into a free £1 note.
I already got like a full-time job, and it's time like to punch in, get it?
In this week's Think of a Number in 15 Minutes, Johnny Ball sets about seeing the light. First on BBC One in Jackanory 3000, Part 3 of The Hobbit.
Let's get on.
Goodbye, until tomorrow.
The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien was adapted for Jackanory by Roger Singleton Turner. The music was specially written by Alan Roper. At 5:10 this afternoon, Clive Dunn returns in the first of a new comedy series, Grandad. Now on BBC One, Think of a Number.
The sun's on the screen, I can't see.
No more can I with a curtain shut.
And with LA Law at 9 o'clock and the Pro Grip UK Arm Wrestling Championships at 10:40, this is your lineup of programmes for Thursday evening on TSW.
See, it's good night on the box, isn't it? Now it's time to join Bob Holness for a build-up to excitement in tonight's blockbusters.
Time Watch on Wednesday on BBC Two includes the story of medieval historian the Venerable Bede, a look at how the philosophy of the Levellers 300 years ago is reflected in today's Labour Party, and Simon Winchester reports from a remnant of Nazi Germany.
This is Nuremberg, and this, the site of Adolf Hitler's notorious rallies of the Nazi faithful. Once the war was over, the Americans took over this town, all of southern Germany, in fact, with the specific aim of undoing the evil of Hitler's time and of turning Nazis back into nice guys. In Time Watch, we'll be examining just how the Americans undertook this gigantic task and asking whether, 50 years after Hitler first came to power, they have succeeded.
Time Watch on Wednesday at 7:10 on BBC Two. In about 25 minutes, it'll be time to watch tennis on BBC One, the US Masters final between John McEnroe and Ivan Lendl. On Two now, a race against time and each other as four people take to the road in two-lane blacktop, tonight's Great American Picture Show.
And stay with us on TSW for Murphy's Law. That's after this break.
Now, to you and me, I was going on a date.
Kevin?
To Mum, it was the royal wedding.
Kevin? There's more rosine in the cabinet.
Anyway, what did Mums know about being 12? They were never 12, were they?
What's that smell?
What smell? Smell it.
Did you shower?
What smell?
That smell. It smells, well, really clean.
Maybe Mums did know something after all.
Le chien, quand j'ai soif, moi.
Ouais. Ça va être qu'est-ce que c'est ce soir? Moi, j'espère c'est du poulet. Et en plus, je suis plus jeune.
Ah, la bolognaise.
Oh, c'est du bœuf.
Non, le monde sur un plat.
I love being a turtle!
Free. 30,000 tickets to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at a major cinema near you. Be quick, be cool, be radical. Buy the Mondo Value Daily Mirror this week and see how to get your free ticket for this blockbuster movie.
Mr. Taylor has a very sore throat, but Chloroseptic contains a very fast-acting painkiller. But is it fast enough to start to work before we finish this commercial? Well, Mr. Taylor?
I don't believe.
You know, the biggest dental problem in adults isn't tooth decay, it's gum disease. And gum disease can lead to tooth loss. But regular brushing with a good toothpaste can help prevent it. And there's no better toothpaste than new Colgate Gum Protection Formula, with a special ingredient that combats gum disease by fighting plaque and tartar, whatever they are. And it gives full fluoride protection. Of course, even new Colgate Gum Protection Formula can't help some people. But it's never too late to start protecting your family. New Colgate Gum Protection Formula for healthier teeth. Bay Gum.
And what's this effort called? Steamed clothes in a basket?
Mum, that's not art, that's washing.
You've got more chance of shifting one of those paintings than getting shot of that.
Lentil casserole. Hasn't Ariel Liquid reached suburbia yet, then?
Oh, wishy-washy liquid on that stain.
But you can scrunch this liquid in, so it starts working straight away.
I'd like to see the day anything starts working in this place.
So the liquid works right in the heart of the wash. There. Even Van Gogh never got his colours that bright.
He never had lentil casserole.
Ariel Liquid, clean to the heart of the toughest wash.
It's brilliant. Pity there's nowhere to hang it.
Hello again. Looking ahead to tomorrow evening on TSW, we have comedy for you at 8 o'clock when Rowan Atkinson returns as the bumbling Mr. Bean. Now it's time for tonight's Murphy's Law.
Next week's play, The Enterprise of England, is set against the background of the Spanish Armada, and it begins at 7:45 next Sunday evening. BBC Two now, as one of the programmes to mark the centenary of Bartok's birth, is presenting his opera in one act, Bluebeard's Castle. It's also to be heard in stereo on Radio 3. Here on BBC One, in 10 minutes, that's Life. Now the news with Peter Woods.
Foot and mouth disease reaches the Isle of Wight. Precautions are extended to the South Coast mainland.
You're the White Hope, Mr. Brady.
And the what?
Yesterday, at Scarborough, for instance, it was almost a quarter of an inch of rain today, whereas in the west you had the best of the sunshine, 13 hours or so at Tyree in the Inner Hebrides, and also down at Torquay. Well, I think over the next few days there will be a good deal of sunshine around as these two high pressures amalgamate and work their way in, and it will become warmer too. But let's have a look at tonight's weather first of all, because it's going to be a pretty cold night, I'm afraid, and there's still one or two showers dotted around, but many of these will be clearing away. And then a dry night for most of us, but a cold one. Temperatures could get down 4 and 5 centigrade. That's close on 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So this means, I think, for a short time around dawn, especially if you're in a sandy valley, the temperature could get close to freezing, but only for a very short time. And then tomorrow, well, no surprises here, a dry day for most of us with some sunshine. The best of the sunshine, I think, in South Wales and southwest England, where temperatures could get up to about 21 centigrade or 70 Fahrenheit. But it will be cooler in the north and down the eastern side, where there will be more in the way of cloud there. And certainly, I think, in eastern parts of England, here there is a chance of 1 or 2 showers around. But after saying that, I think most places, even on the eastern side, will be missing them. Well, that's it from me. A very good night to you.
Love continues to make the world go round and round as 60 student Maureen furthers her sex education in John Fortune series on BBC Two now. The sounds of Cliff Richard and the LPO echo round and round the Royal Albert Hall, and here on BBC One in a few moments.
Tomorrow at 9:25, Real Lives investigates the plight of homeless families who are forced to stay in some of London's seedier hotels.
There are about 1,500 families with children living in London hotels paid for by the state. Over £12 million a year is being spent to put them up. Although this is welcomed by the hotel keepers, there's growing disquiet about the conditions and the safety. Too many people are living for too long in hotels not designed for long-term stays.
I feel there has to be a better way. There has to be an alternative. It's almost like a prison sentence. In fact, it's worse than a prison sentence, really, on both parents and children.
Real Lives, Hotel People is tomorrow at 9:25.
This is BBC One.
And we got 4 stallions there.
Well, you're on one of the 2 favourites in today's race, a Moonpad. What chances have you got of winning?
Well, I think good chance. I think Chaplin's nightclub has got the form, and I'm a bit worried about
Entertainment for Holiday Monday on BBC One. At 5:20, a Grange Hill Christmas special as staff and pupils prepare for an end-of-term disco.
Oh yeah, what about the music? Oh, we thought you were going to do your initial test bit again, sir. I've retired. Isn't there a school group we could use?
At 5:45, Elizabeth Sladen stars in K9 and Company.
Where are you from, K9?
From the doctor.
From the doctor?
Affirmative.
At 6:35, Christmas Terry and June.
What kind of punch are you making?
The old favourite,
Not Grandad's paint stripper again.
At 7:05, Battle of Midway, film drama in the Pacific of World War II.
If you send our carriers into a Japanese ambush, the entire west coast and Hawaiian Islands will be wide open for invasion.
At 9:10, Val sings Bing.
White Christmas, with every Christmas card I write.
At 9:55, Only Fools and Horses, starring David Jason, Nicholas Lyndhurst and Leonard Pierce. Entertainment for Holiday Monday on BBC One.
There are subtitles to our next programme on CFAX, page 170. Now on BBC One, receiving its first showing on British television, the most celebrated movie in Hollywood's history. Winner of 10 Academy Awards, with an all-star cast headed by Clark Gable and Vivien Leigh as the timeless lovers. Part 1 of Gone with the Wind.
BBC Two now presents a television portrait of one of this century's most renowned writers by those people who were closest to him, Maugham.
The Troubles, the background to the question of Northern Ireland, is a 200-page book which Thames has published to accompany this series. Written for the general reader and containing over 140 photographs, it is now available from good bookshops. It costs £4.95 in softcover, £7.50 in hardback. Next on Thames, you're invited to join Patrick, Wayne and Cher for the Monte Carlo Show.
Unfortunately, Mother Nature hasn't yet found a way of telling us how many calories there are in the things we eat, which can be quite a problem if you're dieting. To help you succeed, what you need as part of your calorie-controlled diet is a proper system, one that not only balances all the nutrients, but even works out the calories for you. A system, in fact, like Limits 250. Limits 250 calorie meals with added bran. We count the calories, you lose the weight.
Stripping, it's going on and coming off in pubs and clubs, at hen parties and stag nights. This week the Sun talks to the strippers, where, how and why they do it, to the managers and the law, to husbands and wives, and asks, where do we go from here? Don't miss The Strippers, only in the Sun. Michael Caine, Raquel Welch, Ringo Starr, Lady Diana Spencer. Don't miss The Secrets of Wild West 1, only in the Sun. Ex-referee Kevin McNally writes soccer's most explosive series. Get this naughty night thong, and 5 super Ford Populars must be won. All in your number 1 for 81 Sun. Get it tomorrow.
There are occasions when one simply has to have a shave, a really good shave, a Wilkinson sword shave. Life can be rough without Wilkinson sword.
After you've brushed your teeth, do the sloosh, the Listamint Sloosh. Sloosh with Listamint Antiseptic Mouthwash and feel how clean and fresh your breath is. The Listamint Sloosh works and tastes as good as it works.
Come on, love, I'll be late.
There are times in the day when the only thing that will really help is a nice cup of tea.
Come to read to me. Oh, tea, great. No biscuits.
Hi, Mum. Tea, smashing.
Oh, Jane. What a day. Tea.
Tea. Best drink of the day.
You not having one?
All through life, your body changes, but sometimes it changes more quickly. That's when there may be a chance of vitamin deficiency, and that's when Synatogen vitamins can help. They contain essential vitamins and minerals to help ensure good health. So whether you're growing up, pregnant, or at retirement age, Synatogen vitamins help you stay on top of the changes in your life. Synatogen vitamins, one a day, every day.
You feel much more alive. You'll enjoy the longest drive. You're never out of place. You got a lot more space. You get a smoother ride. in style. It's cheaper now for a mile. It's surprising what you save in a 5. Drive a 5, come alive in a 5.
Chloride technology has captured new power and sealed it for life in your car battery. Chloride sealed for life cells mean easier starting, no topping up, and no maintenance, ever. New chloride sealed for life cells, only in Dagonite and Exide batteries. You'll never guess where this is. It's Malta, the unspoiled Mediterranean.
A simple loaf of bread, or is it? Because every loaf supports us with its essential ingredients. Bread supports us with vital energy. Bread supports us with body-building protein for growth. In fact, penny for penny, bread provides more protein than cheese, fish, meat, milk, even eggs. So when you're building a family, remember bread. Because bread is the family's greatest supporter.
Phone 388 1122 for your holiday brochures, or see your travel agent. That's 388 1122 anytime.
In England's North Country, there are 400 miles of sandy beaches. No wonder people travel miles to come here.
If you've got drafts around your home, your fuel bill could be charging you for heating the street.
I don't believe it.
Every door and window in your house could be costing you money if they haven't been made draft-proof.
I'd like to get my hands on that computer.
If you want to cut down on fuel this winter, cut down on waste. Insulate your home completely.
Stripping, it's going on and coming on in pubs and clubs, at hen parties and stag nights. This week the Sun talks to the strippers, where, how and why they do it, to the managers and the law, to husbands and wives, and asks, where do we go from here? Don't miss The Strippers, only in the Sun. Michael Caine, Raquel Welch, Ringo Starr, Lady Diana Spencer. Don't miss The Secrets of Wild West 1, only in the Sun. Ex-referee Kevin McNally writes soccer's most explosive series. Get this naughty night thong, and 5 super Ford Populars must be won. All in your number 1 for 81 Sun. Get it tomorrow.
For 30 years, we've helped protect your baby's bottles against germs with Milton Fluid. Now there's Milton 2 Fluid, double concentrated. Just 2 capsules sterilize all your baby's bottles all day. Milton, still no better way to help protect your baby's bottles.
Any great?
The Bounty Hunters. They make their home in paradise. For here they have found the Bounty Bar. The taste of paradise. Tender coconut, moist with pure syrup, lavish with thick chocolate. Bounty's tender coconut gives you the taste of paradise.
Is she or isn't she? Harmony has an ultra-fine spray to leave hair softer and more natural. She is wearing a hairspray, but with Harmony, it's so fine, you're the only one that knows for sure.
Don't miss the Braniff Men's Doubles Tennis Olympia. This week, from Tuesday to Sunday, book now on 01 931 1121 931 1121.
Wilma and Scott. Wilma, lovely to see you. Scott, how are you?
Thank you.
Does your wife ask you to help her with the zip fastener on her dresses regularly, only very occasionally, or never?
Or not till the end of the year.
Not till the end of the year. Well, that £1,000 would come in handy for providing all those things, wouldn't it? You're going to choose an envelope for us, and we'll chatter as we go along. And you're with the Ordnance Survey?
Yes, that's right.
What are you doing at the moment, Scott?
Surveying in the hills in Galloway.
What, I mean, we know they're there, don't we?
Oh, yes.
What are you doing with them
There's
now?
a lot of change, a lot of forestry plantations in the hills. And
So you have to keep keeping an eye on them.
Yes, we do.
The hills are alive in Galloway. And the blue sheet of paper's on top. Scott, you're going to stay with me. Wilma, go and sit down, relax. You need all the rest you can get, you know, at the moment. Scott, we've got 3 questions for you. And there's that great big £1,000.
Yes.
Take a deep breath, keep that smile there, and the very best of luck. After drying his hands on a towel, does your husband fold the towel neatly and put it over the rail? Does he throw it over the rail any old way? Or does he just put it down on anything that's handy? What does he do with the towel in the bathroom?
Puts it back neatly.
He's fairly
on the
neat,
rail.
that's good. And the last one, does your husband carry any family photographs in his wallet? And if so, has he just got the one, more than one, or none at all?
Some haddock.
She's going to have a piece of haddock. Oh, I hope you're going to agree. Susan, let's have our lassie back here. What about your hobbies, then?
I'm an amateur photographer and a backyard gardener.
Oh, that's lovely, yeah. And he had 7 children, didn't he?
7 children.
So you have plenty of them to take photographs of, haven't you?
Yes.
Winnie, the best of luck, my darling. We're going to take the break. Let them worry for another 30 seconds or so. We'll be right back, so don't go away. Are you going to say goodbye to everybody?
Yes, as always, take care.
And from me, don't forget, £1,000 again next week. See you then. Be nice to each other. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Warm enough for you, Sid?
When you're shaping up to a thirst,
You're done.
Carly, thirst-shattering flavor.
When there's a greasy stain about, don't soak that stain out. And when there's rubbed in grime about, don't scrub that grime out. Shout it out. Whoa, whoa, shout it out, shout it out.
New Shout Soil and Stain Remover penetrates even the toughest greasy stains and grime. No soaking, no scrubbing. Just spray and wash. See? Cleaner than washing powder alone.
So keep some shout about and shout it out, shout it out.
The Johnsons work together to make a great team, and Mrs. Johnson has another team to look after the wash. It's Mrs. Johnson, her Hoover Electronic 1100, and Purcell Automatic. Her Hoover has 3 different spin speeds to suit every kind of fabric, right up to 1100 spins a minute for a drier wash. And Purcell Automatic is designed to give you the best results, across all temperatures and for all fabrics, colored things and white things too.
Look. Really clean and white.
Whites come up whiter, warm wash colored and synthetic things cleaner and brighter. Purcell Automatic is tested and approved by Hoover and the makers of all these machines. So you, your Automatic, and Purcell Automatic make a winning team that keeps the whites right.
This woman was married to the most evil man on earth.
I gave up everything for Idi Amin. I was his wife for 11 years.
Exclusive in tomorrow's Daily Mirror, she reveals her own sensational story.
Over the years, I saw him change from kind, thoughtful man into a brutal killer.
She tells of his womanizing, his other wives, and how he took their 6 children from her. It's the story of a man who became a monster. The real Idi Amin story starting in the Daily Mirror tomorrow.
Safari. Safari. Explore Windsor Safari Park and Safari SeaWorld, starring Windsor's famous performing dolphins and Britain's only killer whale. Enjoy a great day out exploring Windsor Safari. You'll see more wild animals than ever before at Windsor Safari Park.
Look out for the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Quiz Book, written by Derek Beatty to follow closely the format of his long-running program. The Mr. and Mrs. Quiz Book is in your bookshops now, price 75 pence.
Programmes for Sunday evening on ITV begin at 7:15 with BJ and the Bear.
Hi.
Hi.
How far are you going?
Going to New Orleans. But I'll take you as far as you want to go, or just part of the way, whatever you want.
That won't be necessary.
But there's plenty to laugh about at 8:15 with the comedians.
My first wife died eating poison mushrooms, and second one died of a fractured skull. She wouldn't eat the mushrooms.
At 9 after the news, Tropic. The first episode of a new series by Leslie Thomas based on his best-selling novel, Tropic of Ricelip. The series takes a saucy look at life in the suburbs. At 9:30, Screenplay, another new series, begins with a play called Gossip from the Forest, about the armistice agreement in World War I.
This is the forest of Compiègne, in a railway siding. The saloon car for them is one which belonged to Napoleon III.
Excellent. A new look to Sunday evening programmes here on ITV.
When you've discovered for yourself that coffee tastes nicer with Coffee Mate, all you've got to do is remember.
I remembered. Coffee tastes nicer with Coffee Mate.
To cook a great Spanish omelette, chop onions and potatoes before frying. This can be somewhat distressing. Or you could use Campbell's new Omelette Mate, packed with delicious natural ingredients. Just add to the eggs, whisk, cook, and it's ready. Campbell's new Omelette Mate, in 3 varieties: mushroom, tomato, bacon and ham, and Spanish, for great omelettes without tears.
Tastes delicious, too.
Softex is so soft, you've got to squeeze it to believe it. It's the softest ever toilet tissue.
Softex. Softex. Softex.
Softex, the softest ever toilet tissue.
It's baby week.
Yes, it's baby week in the, whoops, Sun. Who's Britain's bonniest baby? Join the Sun search and maybe yours can have a howling success. Win a £500 nursery. Win chirping woodstocks, Syndico baby bouncers, baby buggies and baby walkers in the Sun. Read the heartwarming stories of couples who've had babies after years of thinking they never could. And who's this? See the stars when they were just little twinkles in the sun. When you're in the sun all day, find out what to wear for a night on the town. And a little later, feel a little sexy in this little number from the Sun. Watch out, girls, for Hollywood's wild, wild lovers. And who's Britain's most kissable man? An expert jury decides in the Sun. Barry Sheen writes for the Bright generation, and there are 6 Kawasaki's to win. It's all in your bright and bouncy, sweet and saucy #1 Sun this week.
Thank goodness some humans really appreciate their food. They understand that we cats are finicky. I insist on 9 Lives cat food. It's so delicious and full of only really choice ingredients. Today I think I fancy tuna. Oh, yeah, I can hardly wait. Oh, thank you, Mum. Thank you, 9 Lives.
Shouldn't all cats have 9 lives?
Well, you bet.
At 6:45, we go to Christchurch Priory for Come Sunday. Now, Cardinal Hume goes searching for God.
Your Eminence, 2 years ago you published a book with the title Searching for God. Have you found him yet?
This is a sport that must have brought joy and exhilaration to thousands of people. And there's a name for those thousands of people, bone surgeons. Makes wonderful viewing, though, doesn't it? I can't tell you the number of times I've put that on to look at since I got one of these. Particularly when the only real television programs that are on it, well, just look what's on at the moment. On one station, they've got something called The Wonderful World of Dry Cleaning. And then on the other one, no, it must be some kind of cowboy series, Frontier Accountant. You see, there's the big advantage of one of these. You no longer have to take what they want to give you. Because you must have noticed this. What they've got on hardly ever seems to coincide with what you've got on. Do you know what I mean? I mean, take, for example, the one night of the week when you've been invited out to a dinner party or something. So, who else have they invited?
Jim. Oh, and Sue.
Oh, not her. Last time, all she talked about right through dinner was worming her dog. Hey, shall we see what we're missing on the telly? Isn't it always the same? The one night of the week when, oh, look, the Miss World contest, a Muhammad Ali fight, late-night film called The Creeping Pervert from Outer Space. Even the epilogue's got a guest appearance by Frank Sinatra. Darling, shall we phone them and tell them that... Whoever those people are who decide what programs go out when, it's almost as if they knew, isn't it? What's more, I've got a feeling they also get tipped off about those nights when your circumstances are the reverse of that. Take one of those rare occasions when you've got a whole free evening at home. So instead of catching up with your VAT account, you've decided to treat yourself to a night of telly watching. So which night do they pick to put out a rerun of the whole of last year's TUC conference, or a Lithuanian folk opera, or something called The Making of a Peat Bog? Isn't it always the case? Just one other example. That television dilemma, which has probably led to more domestic conflict than wife swapping. The evening you've secretly been looking forward to all week. One of your favorite old films is just about to begin. Come on, darling, leave those. You'll miss the beginning. It starts in a minute now. And that's when you notice what's just started on the other channel. A medical documentary showing an operation in full colour. Nothing will tear her away from that. It's like having a ripe peach snatched from your hand and replaced by a turnip. Or it used to be. Until this arrived on the scene. Now, my viewing no longer has to be dictated by other people. Now I can watch what I want to, when I want to.
What about me? Not what we want to, when we want to.
Watch what we want to, when we want to. Even when we have to go out, we don't have to miss anything, because this is what you might call Joe Public Strikes Back. Use it wisely, and you need never again have a bad evening's television. The Philips television recorder, a miracle of electronics that's so simple to operate, even I got the hang of it. And when I say that, do bear in mind, you're looking at someone who has difficulty replacing the spindle in the toilet roll holder. So what happens with it? Well, all that happens is this. Up on the roof, or wherever it is you have it, you have your normal television aerial, the thing that picks up television signals from the transmitter. Down the wire they come, into the back of this recorder, which is also, among other things, a television receiver. Aha, you say, if you're the sort of person who's given to saying things like aha. Aha, but if it's a television receiver, why hasn't it got a screen? Stay right where you are, and I'll tell you. Because it doesn't need one. You've already got a screen, just here. What it does have, though, among other things, is a tape deck. Just like an ordinary audio tape recorder's got, but this one records pictures as well. no less than 2 hours of video recording, all tidily wound up in this one cassette. So, as the signals ooze down your aerial, whatever program you want to record, you select the channel, and from then on, it works just like your kid's tape recorder. You record it, you rewind it, and then you play it. And there it is on your TV screen. And that basically is all there is to it. Tell you something. You know what my first reaction was when I had it explained to me? Nothing that simple can actually work. I'll be absolutely frank with you. I didn't believe it, especially this bit, the clock. That's one of those, among other things, that I mentioned earlier. They said, and this is really where I found my faith being put to the test, they said this can be set to any time over a 3-day period, and it'll switch on the recorder for the particular program that's on at that time and record it all without you being there. In other words, you can be out of the house for 3 days with the television set switched off, and this will have the program you missed waiting for you on a cassette when you get back. Well, as it happened, soon after I got it, we did go away for 3 days. Therefore, in the obvious knowledge that I'd be away from home, one channel was showing an old film that Sunday night. So, taking this as an ideal opportunity to test out the absentee recording element of my Philips, I followed the simple instructions. First set the day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day 3. Then set the time the program starts, 9:30, that's 21:30. Set how long program runs, 1.5 hours, if I remember right. Then just set it to record. And if I may use a phrase beloved of all technologists, that's all there is to it, Squire. But just think what I'd done. I had, in effect, said to an inanimate mechanism, I'd said, what I want you to do is just lie there quietly until Sunday night, right? And then at 9:30, I want you to wake yourself up, watch a full-length feature film, record it all faithfully on your roll of tape, then switch yourself off and go back to sleep again. Now, here I have to be frank. I wouldn't trust my own son to carry out those instructions. That's why at 12 that Friday night, I drove all the way back just to see. Nothing. It just sat there. Was there anything going on inside it? Was it awake? Asleep? Worrying? Mentally rehearsing? Would you believe I sat there staring at it all through Saturday and Sunday? Nothing that simple can actually work. I wouldn't trust my own son to carry out those instructions. So you expect me to accept that an inert hunk of machinery... Don't ask me to tell you how it did it. All I can tell you is that it did do it. And what's more, it's provided an equally effective answer to those other everyday viewing problems, like the occasions when there's 2 good programs on at the same time and you want to see both of them. Because another thing that this most intelligent of machines can do is allow you to watch a program on one channel while at the same time it craftily puts on tape whatever is going on the other channel. And after that, not only can you look at it whenever you like, you can also just look at any small section of it you fancy, you see, because this counter here lets you go right to it, like using the page numbers in a book. And something you can't do with a book, if you want to, you can erase the tape or just any part of the tape and record something else on it. Mind you, about that, I do have to issue you one warning. I have to say that if you're at all like me, you'll often find that you're a bit reluctant to erase a program after you've got it in your possession. because of my Philips, I've now acquired a collection of some of the finest, most dramatic and visually exciting moments that television has ever offered. What's my favourite? Well, I do have to say it's this. This is something, I could look at it 1,000 times and still find some fresh moment of, well, I suppose the only word is nobility.
Your favourite again?
I'm just telling them about my favourite one.
No. Oh, look what you've made me
Well, she gets so emotional about this. Isn't it funny how wives get emotional about their husband's favourites? But before I play it to you, let me just remind you about a few things with the VCR. The VCR can record any program up to 2 hours over any period of 3 days, and it can record one program while you're watching another one. What's more, it will not only record it when you're here, it will also record it when you're not here, or when your wife's not here, or when she's here and you're not, or when she's not and you are, or when neither of you are, or both of you are, or you can perm any combination of all three. Yeah, that's it. Oh, one other thing that I nearly forgot. If you're one of those people who hate all the television programs that they put out, there's even a portable camera available so that you can make your own television program and look at it, which can be very interesting sometimes. So, the recorder is automatic, it's transistorized, and as you've seen from my own experiences, it is virtually foolproof. Okay, can we now see my favorite? Right. Will you now share with me one of those rare moments when television suddenly achieves greatness?
And now, introducing the star of our show, Dennis Norton.
Okay then, please yourself. Hey, come to think of it, that's really all I've been trying to put across. With a Philips VCR, no longer do you have to take what they want to give you. Where television's concerned, you can now please yourself. Have you progressed from going on 40 to going on Valium? Are you at the age when you don't like going into antique shops in case someone makes an offer for you? If you even understood it.
You tell Municipal Lighting we're going to candle power in 10 minutes.
It's a shame, shame, shame. Shame on you if you can't come to. Yes, it's a shame, shame, shame. If you can't come to.
If you're under 18 or over 30, you can't come on a Club 1830 holiday.
Shame on you.
Holly Marine, at Holly Marine, you can sport and play and enjoy the scene, or lie around and sleep all day if you have more fun that way. But at Holly Marine, do as you please, please. At Holly Marine, you can bop and sway, watch the dancers kick their way, or stay right in your home from home, so cozy there's no need to roam. But at Holly Marine, do as you please, please.
Holiday time at Holly Marine Villages is do-as-you-please time. Ring this number for your Holly Marine brochure now.
At Holly Marine, do as you please, please.
Feel a new man with this subtle splash-on body rub. Enlivened, invigorated. A man of action.
Alternatively,
splash out on a pack of Panama cigars. This will bring you instant six appeal, because there are 6 of those smooth-smoking Panama cigars in every pack. Panama, the only cigars with 6 appeal.
Denmark. They've been keeping it very quiet.
I've got to stay and clean the Buddy's cage.
Got to meet the new au pair.
I said I'd spray the cactus while Mary's house. I'm staying in to wash me hair.
Long Life was the first beer brewed expressly to be drunk at home. So, whatever it is that brings you home, Long Life's the beer to come home to.
Please, miss, I want to run away.
Well, you've come to the right place. We can help you run away to thousands of places at Thomas Cook. When you've picked where to go, we make sure you get a really good price. Then Barbara will help if you need a visa or a car. And Derek knows all about traveller's checks and currency.
Hi.
Come on, we'll come back soon and then we can all run away with Thomas Cook.
Nobody knows more about holidays than Thomas Cook. Don't just book it. Thomas Cook it.
Once nuts were just nuts, until the light dawned and KP created Britain's #1 dry roasted peanut. Well, now they're even more seductively spicy. The greatest bite since Cleopatra's asp. The most tantalizing nibble since Delilah. More racy than Ben-Hur. New KP dry roasted peanuts. Now even wilder, spicier, different.
Please, miss, I want to run away.
Well, you've come to the right place. We can help you run away to thousands of places at Thomas Cook. When you've picked where to go, we make sure you get a really good price.
Hi.
Come on, we'll come back soon and then we can all run away with Thomas Cook.
Don't just book it. Thomas Cook it.
Warmth to welcome you home. Electric, with slimline storage heaters. If you're putting in heating, a slimline heating system runs on less than half price electric. Economy 7 overnight electricity. With today's fuel prices, slimline storage heaters can well cost you less to run than a boiler and radiators. Slimline heating and a tank full of hot water. Welcome home to slimline storage heaters. The boiler beaters.
The best things in life cost a little more, but they're worth it. Like Panache by Lothric. Panache is a fragrance with flair, charm, and lots of style. Panache is classical, and when you wear it, everybody notices. Panache by Lothric, the perfect Christmas gift.
Excuse me.
long time.
Did you enjoy the meal?
Quattro?
You remember?
How could I forget?
That's rather a large glass, isn't it?
Not for what I have in mind.
And what do you have in mind? Ice?
And then the Quattro. Please.
Thank you. They complement one another perfectly.
Mais oui, the Quattro I see as the warmth of we French. The ice, the cool of you English. Put them together. And gradually...
The ice melts.
Now, here's tonight's closing programme with the Reverend Peter Lewis. It's another in the series called Sit Up and Listen.
Ever since people started taking photographs, Kodak have been making it easier. First, the roll film. Then, the preloaded cassette. The easy-loading cartridge. And an even neater one. Now, the disc. After 10 years research, an incredible new film. Kodak's new wafer-thin disc film. So thin, we were able to develop this amazing new slimline camera, the Kodak Disc Camera, designed to give you more good pictures. It's easy to load and has the technology to do everything for you. You think pictures, it thinks of everything else. No need to focus. Automatic exposure. Automatic flash, whenever needed. And automatic wind-on. You'll find it's the easiest way to take more good pictures. So, keep it with Kodak and the new Kodak Disc Camera. It thinks of everything.
Now that flash comes in this handy pack, it's even easier to use on enamel bars to CWS. That's clean without scratching.
Never thought it would happen. Our own retirement place. And time to enjoy it. We both agree you can see it's worthwhile saving with Anglia, one of the top 6 building societies. Gave us a new angle on investing their high-income bond. Extra money just when we need it most.
Come into the Anglia and get a new angle on life.
Castrol GTX Liquid Engineering. Can you afford anything less?
Bet you think I'm just ironing a skirt. Well, look at this. I've just put the hem up an inch and you can't see it, can you? It's just one of the tricks I learnt in From Start to Finish, a new needlecraft guide that's full of fun things to make. From a crochet belt you can belt out after just one lesson to a sweater for the more experienced. There are courses in all the basic skills and expert tips even I can cotton on to. Learn how to stretch your skills with ideas that can transform a room and a free pattern that can transform you. Issue 1 is out now. Don't miss it.
Come on, you two.
Hello, Mum.
Here's your toast and Marmite.
Our Terry and David have loved Marmite since they were little. It's the concentrated, savoury goodness of yeast, the richest natural source of vitamin B. And it's still their favourite.
Oh, had enough already then?
I have, Dad, but Terry says can he have some more?
Marmite, the growing up spread you never grow out of.
Only one of these soluble pain relief tablets you can buy is clearly soluble. Aspro Clear. Dissolves completely, relieves pain fast.
the shape of things to crunch.
I've been talking to people about why they take Anadin, the #1 bestseller.
I find them easy to take and quick and effective.
Anadin works for me. I like it. It's an old friend.
I know it will do what it says it will do. It's so reliable.
A lot of confidence in it. I just find it's fast. It gets to the pain quickly.
Nothing works better than Anadin for me.
For headache, tense nervous headache, take Anadin. Anadin is the #1 bestseller.
School children need a variety of reference for homework and projects. Week by week, Joy of Knowledge brings it to them. Its clear, concise words and explanatory pictures help them learn more easily and remember better. Give them the reference they'll need. Joy of Knowledge, Part 1, out now.
Ready Break, with lashings of hot milk to soak up those natural oats, malt and vitamins. All goodness and nothing wasted.
This is the way to start the day on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way to glue to school, glue to school, glue to school. This is the way to glue to school, glue to frosty morning. This is the way to glue to school on a cold and frosty morning.
Ready Break, central heating for kids.
Look what's happening to Woman's Realm. It's a bright new look, Woman's Realm, with Delia Smith's delicious recipes for puddings to please the family, with bright ideas to make a big difference to you and your home, and a free bath time gift just for you. Your new look, Woman's Realm, more for your family, more to offer you.
Oh, Poppy, Daddy says we can't keep our kittens, but the poor little things mightn't get cat meat somewhere else. Mummy says you all like cat meat because it's made with only good things.
Well, look how firm it is, and meaty. And there are 8 different ones to choose from.
I wish I were a cat. You get more variety than you do with Mummy's cooking.
Veronica.
Cat meat. It shows how much you care.
My agent said, "Joe, would you like to do a commercial for Mellow Birds?" And I said, "No, thanks. I'd actually have to believe in the product, and it's not my kind of coffee." But he said, "It's new, try it." So I did. Here I am. And here it is. New improved Mellow Birds.
Choice beans, slowly mellow roasted for more rich, smooth flavor than ever before. That's new Mellow Birds.
I think it's a lovely cup of coffee, and I think you'll think so too.
New improved Mellow Birds, mellow roasted for more flavor.
Just 50p buys you a copy of the brand new family magazine, Video Times.
Oh.
You can get a half-price EMI videotape.
Oh.
And around 100 pages of news and views, pics and personalities.
Oh.
It's out now. Video Times. We're putting the into video.
On the 23rd of May, 1979, 2 gentlemen with a passion for collecting other people's antiques set out to help themselves to those belonging to Mr. and Mrs. Carroll. The family was out at the time, except for little Bruno. When Mrs. Carroll returned, she discovered Bruno had been so upset by the burglars, he'd upset everything. Though nothing was actually stolen, we agreed to compensate the Carrolls in full. After all Bruno had done, it was the least we could do. Commercial union. We won't make a drama out of a crisis.
Looking really marvelous is making Marvel part of your calorie-controlled diet. Marvel's made from pure fresh milk that has almost no fat and around half the calories per pint. So if you want to slim and keep in trim, it's marvelous what Marvel can do.
Winter is a time for dreaming. The sun turns the ancient stone to gold, white cities and white deserts. Here gateways lead to patterns of delight, and water is a dazzling sapphire. Warm days, scented nights. In your dreams, you wintered in Tunisia.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate
tastes like chocolate never tasted before. Only the crawfish flake is strong and tastes like chocolate never tasted before. TSB, the bank that likes to say yes.
MPG, TSB. Semi-D, TSB.
TSB.
TSB. TSB. From 123 to OAP, from Form 5B to new trainee, all TSB. VIPs.
TSB, the bank that likes to say yes.
There's difficulty and dexterity, stupidity and hilarity.
There's only one team, that's the best team, and that's Heinz Spaghetti, Heinz Spaghetti.
There's no tea like Heinz Spaghetti.
Well, tomorrow night's film is Antonioni's controversial movie which takes a look at London during the swinging 60s, Blow Up. David Hemmings stars as a top fashion photographer who finds his world shattered when he apparently witnesses and photographs a murder. Vanessa Redgrave and Sarah Miles are the co-stars, and it begins at 10:10 tomorrow on 2. Well, it's just after 26 minutes past 1. And may I just remind you that although you may have read in your diary that British Summertime starts tonight, in fact it doesn't start until 1 a.m. next Sunday morning. And so please don't put your clocks or watches forward tonight, otherwise you'll be finding yourself rather out of phase with the rest of the world tomorrow. And if you're not going to bed just yet, of course don't forget that Radio 2 will be on the air right throughout the night. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Colin Berry will be along with you and the night and the music right through until 6 o'clock. But now, on behalf of everyone here at Television Centre, this is Michael Stirrup thanking you for your company, and I do hope that you'll be joining us again tomorrow. In the meantime, I wish you a very good night. Good night.
Please like, share, and subscribe to The Good, the Bad, and The Ugly Show.
Because there's no room left in hell.
Fine, thanks.
What's your story?
Well, I'm in young girls' pants. I manufacture pants.
Oh, what filth.
Why don't you prove it now?
I don't feel that there's any great interest in it. Clearly, you must have felt the world wanted to know what your private parts looked like, and now the world knows.
Suggesting dummies! Dummies! A consonant, please, Carol.
C.
A vowel.
That is E.
Another vowel.
Another vowel. I.
Consonant.